Welcome back to AM Northwest. You know, a lot of kids are still rebuilding their social and emotional skills that were stunted over the past 2.5 years. Here with helpful tips that will help them get back on the right track, we welcome back parenting expert Ishai Busi. Good to see you again.
Great to be here.
So let's talk about what are you seeing in your clients, your teenage clients right now?
I'm seeing them getting used to being engaged in the world again.
Yeah.
So that includes social skills. That includes there's some added anxiety. Some of just the interactions that we took for granted that happen in real time. Some of the awkwardness or the pauses or how do I look? Getting used to some of that again.
So what is your recommendation for parents? Because as they see their kids, who many feel that their kids have gone backwards or not kept up pace.
Yeah.
I guess my thing is, though, everyone went through the pandemic. Everyone did. So we're all kind of on the same, as far as kids go, we're all kind of on the same path, right?
Yeah.
So no one is really left behind.
Well, there's a range in terms of the inherent skills that kids have. Some are going to have an easier time adjusting,
I see,
getting back into it, and some are going to have a harder time.
Okay.
What the pandemic did, what I found, is it accelerated and exaggerated challenges that were already there.
Oh.
So kids that had some social anxiety,
yeah,
it got a lot worse for them. It's not that it created problems, but it made ones that were already there worse.
What is your advice to parents then? I would think it's to be patient, number one, right?
So patience and acceptance is one thing, a place to start. So the human brain isn't fully mature until we're 25 years old. That's a third of our lifespan.
Yeah.
So change happens slowly and gradually. So sometimes we rush our kids because we want them to figure it out. Like, get it together, you know, make new friends, get back out there. And so we have to have some patience. And the acceptance is accept where your kid is now, not where we wish they were.
Right.
We can easily compare our kids, sometimes to their own sibling or to our neighbors' kids, and that does them a disservice. It puts pressure on them. So accept where they are. If they're struggling with some social anxiety, or if they're struggling to focus or at attention, accept where they are and be patient and hang in there and try to get them the support they need.
Because you're saying it's not linear. Growth and change isn't linear.
As we know, it's different for everyone, especially kids, preteens and teens, and they're changing so quickly that they're going to be great days and weeks, and then they're going to be backslads, and as a parent we can get like, oh my God, my kid's doing horrible because it's been a terrible week.
Right.
But that sometimes is part of the process of change. So it's not a linear process. So that's part of, we have to be prepared and realistic about this gradual change.
And this sounds kind of simplistic, but it seems to me that adults and kids have just been sitting around a lot.
Right.
You know, we're just sitting, doing Zooms, studying that way, yeah.
Absolutely, and it's so easy to do that now.
Yeah.
With video games are so engaging and all these reasons and streaming TV and shows, and so if we want to help our kids get out of, if they're in a rut or they're stuck, we're wanting to accelerate this process of their growth. Physical activity, we all know about physical activity, but if you have a kid who doesn't like sports or they're not interested in being active naturally, the number one job I recommend parents do is find what your kid's thing is. Every kid has a thing.
Okay.
They might not like sports, but maybe it's rollerblading or skateboarding or going for walks or dance. Every kid has a thing. Sometimes we just have to figure out what that is and then prioritize it. That has to be a non-negotiable thing. Physical activity can't be overstated. It's so important.
That makes sense. And getting enough sleep.
Sleep.
Because teenagers need a lot of sleep.
9+ hours, absolutely. And we know this, but it can be hard to implement because of early start times. But doing what you can to help them kids need 11, adolescents need around 9. The number one mental health issue is sleep deprivation. If I could pick one thing out of all these important things that I could shift for kids that would make a big difference, it would be getting them another hour a night of sleep. But every 20 minutes counts. It's not all or nothing.
Right.
So 7.5 is better than 7. 8's better than 7.5. So the closer you can get, the better.
And I've got to believe too that now that we're adjusting a bit more, human connection.
Human connection is so vital.
Yeah.
We kind of know this intuitively, but one thing that people don't think about is for teenagers, for example, they only need 1 or 2 friends, good friends, to get the benefits of peer connections. They don't need a whole bunch of friends. 1 or 2 is all they really need. One close adult parent relationship, healthy parent relationship, is enough to improve their cognitive skills, it improves their immune functioning. The more adult relationships that they can get that are healthy and positive, the better. Not just peers, adult relationships are
Oh,
important
sure.
too.
That makes a lot of sense. And then you say it's time to focus attention.
Focused attention is such an important buffer to mental health problems. So what that means is single tasking, undivided, focused attention on something they enjoy and choose.
Well, give me an example.
Yeah, well,
As in other words, when you're doing something, put your phone aside and is focused on just that.
Our kids are multitasking all the time.
Yeah.
Video game designers have this down pat.
Yeah.
That's why so many kids love video games. They're engaged, they're present, they're not overthinking. But our kids are multitasking so often, so they're doing this and they're on their phone while they're doing their homework or while they're watching TV. So finding a hobby and interest. So find what, kind of like exercise, but find something that your kids likes. It could be Magic the Gathering games,
Right.
D&D. It could be, making music, playing music, board games. Single task, focused, where they're engaged and they're not overthinking. Because kids ruminate and they overthink when they have too much time.
Right.
So we want to help them engage their brain and mind.
Makes sense. A lot of good points, Ishai. Thank you so much.
Happy to
We'll
be
put the information on our website at k2.com. All right.